house, giving y'all some time. Get on in here. The United States Private Enterprise State, my people, is live and direct. And guess what today's subject is? You got it. Treasury Direct Bonds. Straight up, my people. You know, Treasury Direct is a key player in your status correction. So, you know, buying a $25 Treasury bond through Treasury Direct gives you the status of a lender, which is the creditor. I'm going to say it again. Buying a $25 Treasury bond through Treasury Direct gives you the status of a lender, and a lender is a creditor to the U.S. Treasury, to the U.S. Treasury. Specifically, you are considered an investor in the U.S. government debt. Okay? So you buying a $25 Treasury bond, that little amount will make your status as a creditor, okay, an investor in the U.S. government debt. Legal status creditor to the U.S., the U.S., when you buy a U.S. savings bond like a $25 Series EE or I bond. So, my people, you need to start buying some Treasury bonds to secure yourself as an investor, creditor in the U.S. debt. And let me tell you why. You loan the U.S. government $25 or however much you buy a bond for. In return, the U.S. agrees to pay you back with interest at maturity. This makes you a creditor of the U.S. Treasury. Number two, trust law or creditor status private interpretation evidences that the government recognizes you as a private creditor or holder in due course. By holding the bond, you hold a claim against the United States in the form of a financial investment. If purchased under your own name and SSN, the bond is property of the individual, i.e., the legal person, the legal fiction. If purchased under the trust or estate, the bond becomes an asset of the trust, and you, as the trustee or grantor, control the beneficial interests. So, if you have a trust or your estate signed up with the Treasury and you buy bonds, EE bonds or I bonds under your trust or estate, now your trust or your estate is an investor in the U.S. debt. Okay. 3, public versus private standing. If the bond is registered in your legal name, SSN, you are operating in the public. If the bond is held by the trust, then you are the fiduciary. You are acting in the private, which aligns with creditor trustee status. Number 4, proof of U.S. citizenship and standing. Treasury Direct accounts are only available to U.S. persons with a Social Security number. So you need to put that Social Security number to work and control it by becoming an investor in the U.S. Treasury. Control it. So having an account may be used as evidence of citizenship, consent, and public trust participation, which is the Social Security Administration. That's the public trust, which is also a private trust. But also as evidence of standing to make a claim as creditor if interpreted lawfully. So just by buying that EE or I bond under the SSN and you controlling it, now you have evidence of standing to make a claim against the U.S. as the creditor. Now you can assign the bond into your private trust, create a ledger showing the bond as a trust asset. Okay, reference it in your UCC filings as collateral or supporting claim. Include the bond in a declaration of trust assets or a private placement memorandum, PPM, if creating a financial instrument. Okay, use the bond in settlement offers or discharge packages under 1099 OID proceeds only with proper documentation and legal theory. Now, medallion signature guarantee. This is where it all falls in place. So, yes, if your certificate of birth has a medallion signature guarantee, MSG, issued by Navy Federal Bank, Navy Federal Bank is where you go to get this medallion signature for the BC, for the certificate of birth. Okay, so once you get that medallion signature, it gives evidence that you are a creditor of the U.S. and you can also use, so the signature guarantee, the medallion signature stamp is going to have a letter on it, you know, Z, Y, whatever letter it is. You can look the letter up of your medallion signature guarantee, and it'll tell you how much the BC is really worth. So if you got a Y, it's worth $5 million. If you got a Z, it's worth $10 million. So it doesn't go over 10 million. 10 million is the highest. So now you have the signature guarantee, medallion signature guarantee. You also can deposit that in to the Treasury. You send it off to Treasury Securities. They retire it. Now you have standing in the game. So now you have to go in, you can do an OID on it, and you can put the affidavit, everything that you've done with that BC into the IRS, because the signature, the medallion signature guarantee states how much your BC is really worth on the record. So you file your 1099 OID, your 1099A, your 1099B, your 8281, and your 1040V, and your coupon 670 coupon with that, and some other documents to show proof of the standing that you have now. So that is why if you have a certificate of birth here in the United States, that's how you use it, because that's how the corporation that was over you have been using it if you haven't taken control of your account. So it's a process, So if you listen to Patrick, you do have to send that into Puerto Rico too, because they got to bring it back in to put it back on land. But the bottom line is, my people, I just gave you the Treasury Direct process, okay? If once you have that on file with the IRS, Treasury Direct, you have skin in the game, because now you have the 5 million, the 10 million, the 2 million, the 3 million on file, on the record. And when it hits the tax transcript, now it's really on file with the IRS. That is the route that you have to take with the BC. You don't disregard your BC. Your BC is all your labor, everything from day one when you was in grade school. They taxed your ass in grade school. When you went to grade school, kindergarten, grade school, junior high school, college, it was all work. If you open up your SSN account, you'll see that it was all work, because it's all there in the SSN account. So that is why you have to disregard other gurus telling you to disregard the BC. You don't disregard the BC. That's your labor from day one when you came out the womb. Okay, 4 days later is when they, registered you with the registrar and, the Borough of Health. So, you have 2 registrations and you have 2 births, straight up. And that's how they've been controlling that BC on their end. Now you have to take that BC back in and let the IRS know who the true owner is. Do not disregard that BC. This is how you are going to settle the debt, settle the record, because that's 5 million, that's 10 million, that's $3 million right there on the record. Once it hits that tax transcript, if you opened up your IRS account, now it hits the tax transcript, you in there, you got it. So now you are a true creditor of the U.S. Even if you have your private trust, even if you have your foreign grantors, you still have that BC, because it settles the debt. Okay, and it clears the public debt also. So now that's your bargaining chip to buy a house, to buy a vehicle, to buy some land, to fund your LLCs, to fund your DBAs, to fund your businesses, to move the credits throughout the EFTPS system. That's how it goes down. So once you have that signature guarantee, bag all that up and start OIDing it, start doing the right thing, because they've done it. Now you have to go back in, do a reversion of estate, reclaim it, let the IRS know I'm not lost at sea no more. I got the BC. When you do that process, you have to send all the documents, all the paperwork of the BC, of the signature guarantee. They need to see all of it. Puerto Rico needs to see it. Okay? That's evidence of you on the record. You're the creditor. You're the investor. There's no lie about it no more. Nobody can dispute it because it's now on the IRS record. And the IRS record is the bookkeepers in this universe right the fuck now. So, you know what I'm saying. Those that know what I'm saying, they're going to go and do what they got to do if they haven't done it yet. You know what I'm saying? So even by doing that, it even helps you in traffic stops, because half of the time when it gets on the record, it's going to take some time when it hit that record. If you do the OIDs and all of that, it should hit your tracks transcript and if you do it through the IRS, maybe 6 days. If you do it outside of IRS, 30 days. But that's the process. It'll also help you in traffic stops, because if you come up now as the creditor to the U.S., they can't really bother you no more. It doesn't matter because you've paid the debt. You've settled the debt. There's no more debt. And if they are coming back at you with some debt shit, that's some bullshit. You got to start showing your paperwork. You have to enforce the paperwork. Because, I heard one story. Somebody told me that, somebody got stopped and it was a bunch of teenagers and they was drinking and driving, but the driver, he was not drinking and driving. He gave, license, registration, yada. The cop came back to him and said, drive home safely to the cat. Come to find out, his grandmother had gifted him. He didn't even know. His grandmother on the record gifted him a Treasury Direct EE bond and an II bond. She gifted it, which helped him to become a creditor and an investor within the U.S., which probably helped him get out of the traffic stop with the officer, whatever came up on his screen. So, you must start purchasing these Treasury Direct bonds straight up. I don't care if it's $25. Start off with $25. But you can use your bonds that you purchased as collateral. It's collateral. You put it up on a UCC as collateral. So my people, it behooves me that if you need to get down with the United States Private Enterprise Free State, you can reach us at 407-300-5377. We rock it out with our people. We got mad people that have set up their private banks. We got mad people that, have set up a lot right now. They're fiduciaries over their accounts. And, they making power moves. They're making money moves and shit like that. That's how you got to be moving right now. If a nigga tell you to disregard a BC, you got to be out of your mind to disregard your certificate of birth. Your certificate of birth is everything. That's the first security that has everything in it. And it's the number. It's a serial number on the BC. That serial number is traded on the stock market. So, once you find that out, control it. You don't fight them on it. You just control it. Start doing your paperwork, do it with a smile. That's how you control the system, my people. It's all about control. Control, my people. Control the system. And how you control the system, I just told you how. Treasury Direct, you got to start buying those bonds. You got to do the process for the BC. The BC, go and get your signature guarantee, medallion signature guarantee on that BC. Go to Navy Federal. Navy Federal does it. Navy Federal is the military. The military controls every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? So, my people, you got to wake up, and you got to wake up now, because, you want to be in control of everything. Everything. You want to control it. You know what I'm saying? Beneficial owner, beneficial interests, beneficial, everything is you, because All credit starts with the signer. Without the signer, there's no credit. And without the credit, there is nothing, because everything comes from the soil, from the earth. So if we came from the soil, from the earth, which is the womb, the mother, created by man and woman, and we are man and woman. So you need to go and control your man and woman duties. Your man and woman duties is your property. Your property is that BC. Don't sleep on that BC. I don't give a shit what the Don Kalam saying, oh, disregard that. Don't disregard the BC. The BC is everything that is yours from day one. That social security number is yours from day one. Don't even let a nigga try to tell you the social security number is voluntary. Your mother got the social security number for you for a reason, because it's attached to the BC. You know what I'm saying? She didn't really know, but now you know that the BC and the social security card are one. They are attached together, and that is how you reclaim the reversion of your estate. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta reclaim it. Because if you don't, you will be reborn, reincarnated back into the same dimension, because everybody is going through it until they wake up on that soul financial level, divine soul financial level. You know what I'm saying? This is divine divinity financial investment creditor level right now that we talking about. You got to get down with the United States private enterprise free state, because it's all about divinity, my people. We are divine beings, okay? You know what I'm saying? We come from divine stock, preferred stock, common stock. We are divine on the levels of raising the level of the mentality of financial wealth right now, my people. It's all about land. It's all about your soil. It's all about prosperity. You know what I'm saying? So straight up, that BC that you got in your hand, once you get that signature guarantee, walk on up into Navy Federal, you're going to get that. You're going to get that signature guarantee. It's going to give you that letter on it. It's going to tell you how much your BC is worth. You're going to go do 1099 OD, OID, A, and B on it. You're going to wait for it to hit your tax transcript. And then you're going to start making you some motherfucking power moves with that BC. Because now you are the creditor of the U.S. Straight up. Okay, that's the bottom line, my people. When you wake up to make up to wake up, you're going to get that money. You're going to get that return every fucking year. You're going to do a tax return. You may do your tax returns quarterly. You can do your tax returns annually. It's up to you. But how you going to get it? You going to get it. Because you're going to, you better have the process ready already where you can do 1099 OIDs. Because, you can't just do a 1099 OID and think you're going to get it if you haven't corrected your status. Status correction is key in the game. It's the Solomon's key. Status correction is the Solomon's key. Solomon had a key that it's status correction. Solomon's key is status correction. Okay, you heard it first right here. From the United States private enterprise free state. You got to roll how we roll, 407-300-5377. If you want to get down and get this private teaching, you come right here. You ain't going to learn this in the public. No public colleges is going to teach you nothing like this. We got the privacy right here. Give us a call, 407-300-5377. It's all private, my people, because that's how we roll. Okay? United States, private enterprise free state. All right? We got court, we got state, private banker, we got the bank, we got everything. Okay? We setting up our the entity is set up, and we setting up everything. Everything is already set up, my people. It's all about getting that land and building now. That's all it's about. So once you get your entity set up, you know what I'm saying? Then you can start moving. You start moving like a divine entity. You start moving like a divine divinity, financial, private banker, private bank, um, 508, 5081C, 508, you know how you say it, 508, you start moving like that. Divinity, my people. It's all about divinity. It's all about being divine because they already know who you are. Divine and divinity is going to shine and glow within your aura. They already know you coming. They see you coming. They got the paperwork. Yo, the 7 Series brokers is sitting at Navy Federal right now waiting for y'all to come because they need y'all. They get a percent when you bring that BC in. They get a percentage of it. It's okay. Give them that percent because it's going to come back to you any fucking way. You get it all back in a tax refund. You file that tax return, you're going to get a refund because it's your fuck sovereign. We don't think about no fucking sovereign up in here. We are divine, divinity individuals, and we got the game on lock right now. So those bankers and the commercial banks, they need us to walk in with that BC. When they see that BC, they happy as a mofo. They gonna take it in the back. Believe that shit. You know what I'm saying? So the BC, my people, is your key and it's your leverage. That is your freedom to get you signed out as a debtor. Once you put that BC on the record as you are the investor now, changes the whole ball game for you. You got to walk in your divine divinity. You got to float in your divine divinity. You got to flow in your divine divinity because that's what it's all about. Prosperity is our birthright. Okay? That is so motherfucking true. Straight up. So that BC is your Solomon's key. That certificate of birth is your Solomon's key. Solomon's key, turn that bitch. Turn that bitch. Go walk into Navy Federal today or tomorrow, motherfucker. Walk into Navy Federal tomorrow with your BC and tell them you take you a 1522. You take you a 5444. You take it's another number that you got another number you got to take up, another form number you got to take up in Navy Federal. Navy Federal are the ones that will take that BC and be happy to take that BC. Okay? Maybe first you have to open up an account with Navy Federal and then take it in. You know what I'm saying? You go in, open up account, get the account open, then whip that motherfucking certificate of birth on them or that BC. Tell them you bring it in with the FS forms, the Treasury Direct forms. They will be so happy to book ledger that fucking BC in. It'll make your head spin. Now, when you have that medallion signature guarantee on file with Navy Federal, your fucking name is golden throughout the motherfucking system. I guarantee you that. Why you think they call it a medallion signature guarantee? They guarantee 10 million. They guarantee 5 million. They guarantee 4 million. They guarantee 3 million. They guarantee 2 million. They guarantee 1 million. Okay? Straight up. You know what I'm saying? So it behooves me why niggas don't want to pay their bills. Pay your fucking bills. You gonna get it back with a tax refund on an OID. That is the purpose. Walk in your divine divinity. Play the game in your divine divinity. Let divine divinity flow throughout you on this Sunday. You know what I'm saying? And this is Deutsche Ma, okay, Eliantis Church. 508 1AC or A1C, okay? Deutsche Ma Eliantis. That is a distant star out there in the universe. And that's a real star, Deutsche Ma Eliantis. Okay, I just reeled it in. And that's the name of my church, Deutsche Ma Eliantis Church. 508, y'all. That's how we rolling. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the land is everything, my people. The land. If you right now, if you can go and buy you some land where you paying maybe $100 a month on that land, do it. Because once you get that BC on file and it's in that transcript, you're going to be making some money moves. You're going to be making some money power moves. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have God shining the light on you and on everything that you do. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you got a DBA everything in. A DBA is how you control everything too. Through a DBA, you can control it through a LLC. It depends on you. But a LLC is a limited liability, which means that you have a public agent over you. Which, you know, even if you put that LLC into a private trust, there's still a public agent over you. So you know, that's why if you do DBAs is all on you, nobody else. They can't say shit. You can do whatever the fuck you want with your DBA, straight up. Now, if the trust owns the DBA, then hey, it's collateral of the trust. Now, the trust owns it and you moving through the trust. So it's up to you how you want to move. But I'm telling you, the reason today why I'm tuning into y'all people today is because Treasury Direct Bonds is most definitely the way to flow, my people. You must go buy a Treasury Direct Bonds, open up your Treasury Direct account. You can put your estate in, you can put your trust in, or you can put your SSN in. But you should put that individual SSN in so you can start controlling the corporation. And once the SSN is in control of the corporation, the cops will leave you the fuck alone. The traffic stops will stop because you will have that bond in place on Treasury Direct, and it sits up there for the next, I think, 30 years, and it doubles in 30 years. So 30 years, you know, once it gets into the system, you know, cops should be leaving you the fuck alone for the next fucking 30 years. There should be no whoop whoop and niggas talking shit to you about anything because you're on the motherfucking record, and you have to send that BC in once you get it, once you go and get your medallion signature guarantee at Navy Federal, you got to send it in and retire it, because that's the key. That's the Solomon's key. When you retire that BC, they know now who you are. So it's collateral in your trust. You have 3 trusts, right? You got your irrevocable trust. You're going to start out first with your revocable trust, your irrevocable trust, and then your foreign grantors trust. So you got 3 trusts and you get 3 BCs. So you deposit 1 BC in each one of those trusts. So now you funded the trust, however much that BC is worth. That's how easy that shit is. That's how motherfucking easy it is. Okay, you put the SSA on notice. You put the Federal Reserve on notice, because now they have to open up the back of that Social Security card, which is your Federal Reserve account. They have to open that account up to you now. Okay? You can do a goddamn 1099 OID on your Federal Reserve account now. You can't do it until you get that tax transcript with that money on it to show, the credits on it to show that, Oh shit, you in control now. You are a comp controller of the currency. And that's what it means, the comp controller of the currency. So you would have to put the comp controller of the currency of your state on notice once you get all these documents in and on file with the IRS and Treasury Direct. Now, being that you're a comp controller of the money, you can start moving these credits through the EFTPS system, straight up. But you got to have your EFTPS accounts set up under the fiduciary, under the trustee, under the agent. You know what I'm saying? 8655, motherfucker, 8655. Because you have to be the agent. The limited liability companies that you get, the LLCs, that's why I say don't get an LLC, because they go and they file the 8655 for you, and now they're the agent over that account. So now they're taking the agent over all your shit. That's why you can't do a LLC. It's best that you just can stay with the DBAs, because the DBA is you all the way. You're the owner of everything under that DBA. So you do a DBA, last name, first name. You do a DBA on your trust. You know, you do a DBA on all, whatever the fuck you moving with through the system, DBA that bitch in, straight up. You know what I'm saying? Because now you got the EIN with the DBA, okay? You can move, you can go in, open up that bank account. You know what I'm saying? They may ask you for the social, but who the fuck cares if they ask you for the social? Let them monetize your social. Let them monetize whatever the fuck they want. You know why? Because you can 1099 that shit and get your money back in 90 fucking days, motherfucker. Yeah, when you first start out doing this, it's going to take more than 90 days because you ain't never did this before, and the IRS want to know, who the fuck are you now? Oh, you back? You not lost that C no more. Oh, we got to ID you. We got to do this. We got to do that. So it's going to take more than 90 days on your first go round. But when they start, but the second go round, 90 days. Next go round, 90 days. You know what I'm saying? That's how it moves. That's how you see all the corporations. They profited off of our ignorance. But now we stand in divine wealth, my nigga. We stand in divine wealth and prosperity. Our feet are in the soil now. When you retired at BC, your feet are in the soil. They put it back to the soil, my nigga. You are a rich mother divine. Infinity into perpetuity. You will not be reincarnating back on this motherfucking planet no fucking more. You have to do the process. You want to stop reincarnating back on Gaia, on Tamari, you know, whatever they call this place, okay? Stop your reincarnation here. You have to do the process. You have to, because that is why you keep reincarnating. You keep reincarnating into all different types of families until you wake up to this process. This is the Solomon's key. Solomon was one of the richest people on the earth, because Solomon had the key. He had the dowries of all the women that he, you know, took into his castle. He had all the BCs. He had all their birth certificates. He had that property. Your birth certificate is property. You don't want to give up your property. It's you. That, yes, it's a name on a piece of paper, but it's still your property. It's your name that your mother gave you. It's your name. She gave you the name. and they stole the name. Now you take it back and you retire that bitch and you become the investor of this U.S. That's why the motherfuckers are in bankruptcy, because they know what they have done. They can never pay you back. The only one that pays you back is yourself. You waking up to the process. Nobody can do the process for you. So, if you're lazy in your divinity, you will keep reincarnating back here over and over and over again. You want to be rich? You need to follow Solomon's key. You go study Solomon, one of the richest men on the motherfucking earth, okay? And then you go study, what's the other chick? Oh man, what Patrick was talking about, he talked about that other chick that you pledge that you go under her, your bills do get paid under a letter fucking credit. I kid you not. So my people, Treasury Direct Bonds is the way. Treasury Direct Bonds is because your bond, the BC is a bond, but you haven't cashed in on it. They cashed in, but but it's your time. So Trump is in office for the next fucking 4 years, y'all. You know, that's why Trump is doing what he's doing, because the U.S. don't owe you nothing. They don't owe you truth. They don't owe you nothing. It's your BC. You can walk into any motherfucking place with that tax transcript. Okay? A banker look at that tax transcript, they know exactly what to do with that shit. And they'll take it gladly. Okay? Gladly. It's like we don't need to complain about nothing, because we are already divinely wealthy. Okay? You can see homeless people on the street. Don't look at them as homeless and look down on them. They just don't know who the fuck they are. You may want to go and just touch them and say, look, bro, you already divine and you wealthy. Just tell them, go get your BC, nigga. That's why a lot of organizations are picking up the homeless off the street, because they getting their BC. You know what I'm saying? They cashing in on their BCs because they don't know. So you want to help a homeless person? You can help them off the street. You got to get their name, ask them about their social, ask them their name, and go look up their BC number. Look up their name, see if they got a social, and you'll find their BC number. Straight up. That's how you help a homeless person. And that's what they've been doing. You know what I'm saying? They came over here from Britain, from Germany, from London, from Russia. You know what I'm saying? You know, we was already on the land free. Straight up. Yeah, you got renational. Okay, they renationalized you. You fucking throw renaturalization right back at these motherfuckers and 1099 OID. That's your reversion of a state, motherfucker. A 1099 OID BA, NA. Straight up. Okay? 8280 motherfucking 1, my nigga. 1040V. With a 670 fucking coupon to go along with that. Used for payment, my nigga. Wake the fuck up. Stop being a dumb ass to the system. You are the system when you wake up to the system. That's why they call you idiots. Idiots. Straight up. Because you are ignorant to the system. You are ignorant to what the paperwork that you already have in your possession. Your driver's license is worth 1.5 mil. Okay? Straight up. You got money left and fucking right and don't even know how to cash in or use it. 1099 your fucking driver's license, my nigga. That's an account. 1099 your motherfucking Medicare. 1099 your Medicaid. 1099 your fucking food stamp account. Shit. What the fuck? 1099 all your motherfucking accounts, my nigga, and start collecting and recouping your motherfucking credits. Because welfare, food stamps, the welfare checks you get, recoup that bitch on a 1099. Shit. Wake the fuck up. Straight up, my nigga. Wake up. You gotta wake up, my niggas. You gotta wake up. So, my people, yo, what's going on out there? Peace and blessings to all the people in the chat right now. Peace and blessings to all my people that's making power moves, that's making money moves right now. Peace and blessings to all the people that has taken a time to even listen to what the United States Private Enterprise Free State has to say, and Daicha Ma Elianta's church. You know what I'm saying, my nigga? Because straight up, that's how it's moving. You want to be the boss? The boss has a transcript over 5 mil, over 10 mil, over billion, over trillion on a tax transcript. And you got people already rolling like that, my nigga. Recoup, recoup, recoup. Straight up. Recoup your credits. Reversion of estate, my nigga. Don't listen to these dumb ass motherfucking gurus telling you that dumb shit. You better listen to what I just told you. Because when you tell truth to the people, it only comes back to you 100 times 100. Solomon's key, my nigga. Solomon's key. That is how you gonna get it. And your BC is Solomon's key. So, you know, I gave you $1 billion worth of game. Okay? I gave you $1 trillion worth of game right now. You just got to go and get it straight up. You know, all I could tell you right now, you know, go open up your Fidelity accounts, go open up your Treasury Direct accounts, because you're going to need the brokers, you know, to draw down some of that money, because while you in the waiting process and it's on the tax transcript, you know, all you got to do is give the broker the tax transcript. They know what to do and they know how to pull down the credits because they got a 7 series brokers, you know what I'm saying, 10 series broker, whatever series broker they are. They can pull those credits down for you, you know. But you can also transfer your own credits too through the trust, because the trust is also a broker. Bet you didn't know that. The trust is a broker and it can pull down credits. So you got to set yourself up. But the only way the trust can pull down credits is that it has to be stated in a clause in your trust. If it doesn't state it, then, you know, the IRS, because they're going to want to see the trust, and they're going to want to see, well, is it stated in your trust that the trust is a broker? You see what I'm saying? You know, New York is Atlantis, my people. So I'm an Atlantean on top of being a Tamarian, because the United States is ancient Tamari. And, you know, New York is ancient Atlantis, straight up. But they won't acknowledge, you know, you go and tell a motherfucker, well, my nationality is Atlantean. They ain't going to acknowledge that unless you put it on record, and you put it on record a certain way. But, you know, American, national, yeah. You say Tamarian, you have to show proof that United States was ancient Tamaria. You know what I'm saying? However you pronounce it, Tamari, however. So, my people, you got to stay true to yourself, because divinity is you. Every time you look in the mirror, all you're going to see is divinity. And when you see that tax transcript and all of those credits start hitting, you know what I'm saying? Them 1099 ODs start hitting your account, you're going to be like, shit, it's a new day. Who the boss? Who the boss? You know what I'm saying? You want to start taking back your lineage, you know, in the Social Security. When you open up your Social Security Administration account, there's a document within the forms on how you can start collecting all your death certificates of the people in your family, the money, you know, being at, you know, that they were way older and, you know, maybe 1933 and all that crazy, you know, all in those time periods, the money's going to be less for labor. So you're not going to really get a lot, but you're going to you can claim their death certificates and you'll get money back on that, you know, and that's how you start reclaiming your lineage. But you got to have the death certificate to do it. All you have to do is upload the death certificate and their social. And they'll send you back some paperwork and you'll start getting a direct deposit for your dead people, for your dead lineage, for all your dead ancestors, whoever it is in your family. But you got to have the death certificate and the social and the SSN number. So I gave you mad you could give me a donation for all of this great knowledge I just gave you. You know, you could donate on my Cash App. You know what I'm saying? You could donate on my Cash App. You know what I'm saying? RUBIEWILKIE. It's $RUBIEWILKIE. It has a symbol with my flag on it, red, gold, and red, gold. What's the other colors of my flag? But you'll see it. It has some red, it has the gold, and it has the copper. My flag represents, the red is for the blood of the people. The gold is for the currency, for the gold coming from the soil. The copper color is for the copper, the electric, and the that, you know, from the soil. My flag is a money flag. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, it's a money flag. So, my people, freedom is the key. Solomon key. Solomon, one of the richest men in the motherfucking universe. Solomon had the key. They call it Solomon's key. If you got Solomon's key, that is the BC. That will unlock what you need to do to put yourself on your way. Straight up. That's how you get out from under the clutches of the colonizer. You have to use your Solomon's key. And you heard it first right here from Deutsche Ma Alliance's Church. You heard it first from the United States Private Enterprise Free State. Because we don't joke, we don't lie, we give it to you straight, no chaser. Because we are on the road to the Treasury. And the Treasury window is the IRS. It is Ogden, Texas, you know, Philadelphia, and the other places. That's Treasury window. That is the Treasury window. They got niggas all confused thinking the Treasury window is the Federal Reserve or it's this other place somewhere so far away and shit. No, my nigga. The Treasury window is wherever you send your tax return to. That's the Treasury window. Wake the fuck up. That's why you need Solomon's key. It unlocks your memory. And when you have the Solomon's key to unlock your memory, you unlock your wealth. That is the key to prosperity. And on that note, my people, stay up, stay one, stay strong. This is the United States Private Enterprise Free State. This is Daicha Ma Eliantis Church. You can give us a call at 407-300-5377. You want that private teaching? We got it, y'all. I'm out, my niggas.